Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. You know, it's your business to really think about the kind of values, the ideas, even the cornerstone of your business practices, which leads us to a great topic today, and really how you conduct business in general. And we've got a great contributor, Steve Van Ooteghem, who is with the C12 Group of Houston. And by the way, you can learn more about them go ahead and get that address right from the very beginning. It's
C12, the number 12, C12Houston.com.
C12Houston.com. And so you can learn more about them, a great coaching program that is based on Christian values. And we're focusing in this program on the importance of our values in the way we conduct business, and are now in part 2 of this series of based on a great event coming up at Houston First Baptist Church. And we have now our mutual friend Eric Reed, who is a pastor at Houston First, and we're going to go straight to him. And first of all, let's go ahead and let Steve. Let Steve elaborate a little bit on the C12 group before we let Eric tell the story of this event coming up here just tomorrow. In fact, go ahead, Steve.
Sure. The C12 Group is an executive roundtable for Christian business owners and CEOs, and really what we do is help business owners integrate their business into their faith, and we walk alongside them to help them build greater businesses for a greater purpose.
Very good. And Eric Reed, welcome to the program. First of all, tell us exactly what you do for Houston First Baptist Church.
I am the men's minister at Houston's First Baptist Church, so I have the privilege of working with a lot of men in industry, and that has sort of piqued my interest in how we can help mold and shape leaders, godly leaders in the marketplace.
Very good. And this big event you got coming up?
Well, it's coming up on actually tomorrow, November the 14th, and it's called America's Best Hope. And it's the focus is on building godly leaders in the marketplace. It's for men and women. It will begin at 8 a.m. and end at 3 p.m. at Houston's First Baptist Church. We're at the I-10, 610 interchange there, just off the freeway with a large cross water wall. And that event is going to be live with Dan Cathy and Janet Parshall. Some other speakers will be there. So we're very excited about this.
Very good. Your question, Steve?
Well, Eric, I'm excited about this event, too, and I love the subject matter. Who really should attend this, Eric?
Well, I think this is an ideal event for probably 3 or 4 different types of people. It could be the new person entering the business world from school. Maybe they've got the MBA in hand and they've got this business plan and they're going to take it all by storm. For those people, they're going to walk away with really not just a vision for professional excellence, but personal excellence, spiritual excellence, and how to build, I would say, character and integrity into the very DNA and fabric of their business. For someone that's been in the business world for quite a while, it could really restore and renew a vision that our jobs don't define us, but they are a fantastic platform for God to use that leverage, that influence for something far more lasting than my paycheck and my 403B. And so we're excited about that. And we also feel like if there's someone that's in an executive type of position, they're also going to hear about some opportunities around the idea of roundtables that can give them a sharpening as they seek to really maximize their market impact and maximize also, though, the influence upon the people that they're leading there at their job. And so that's sort of, it's for men and women alike. It's going to be a fantastic training opportunity.
Let me ask you, here we are, it's kind of a late hour. The event is tomorrow. What should people do if they're hearing about it today?
Well, they can go to the Houston First website, and that's www.houstons, and that's plural, HOUSTONS, first is the number spelled out, FIRST.org, and there is a little banner at the top that says America's Best Hope, a premier leadership event. They can click on that. Tickets are $49, which is a great value there. and they will hear from the likes of Janet Parshall and Dan Cathy. David White, who his newest film is God's Not Dead, has just been released. He does a lot of acting, directing, and producing in Hollywood. We'll also have Russ Crossan from Ron Blue. They'll literally just pick up that ticket. They could also come to the door, but I would recommend buying them on the website just for ease of getting in. And it will be at the chapel at Houston's First. So they would end up parking on the western part of the church parking lot.
Very good. Steve, your question?
Well, it just dawned on me that how many business owners, I've had several businesses, been a CEO, really need encouragement. So how do you see this encouraging them, Eric, the ones that attend tomorrow?
Well, I think the encouragement comes from the very reality that a lot of what's going to be talked about, it may be a reminder for some people, but it's going to put it together through a series of talks from different leaders in different industries. I think it's going to put some clarity there, connect some dots that probably we've all thought about in the back of our mind. And out of that, I believe it's going to, in a very real sense, be a catalyst for us personally as leaders. It's going to be a catalyst for us to take some fresh steps forward where maybe we've been in a rut for the last 10 years, and no one else maybe has noticed that, but we have felt a disconnect and a flatness in our career. This could really revitalize somebody and encourage them.
Outstanding.
Yeah, very good, very good. Let me ask you in terms of what came to mind when you saw a need to do a program like this.
Well, I think it's the painful reality of coming through the last decade when we had the economic downturn in 2008, and I was meeting with so many men who had lost their position. They lost their title, their income, their power, their influence, and I began to realize that we have completely put all of our worth in our job, that our jobs have defined us. When we meet someone, one of the first things I'm asked is, what do you do? And there's nothing wrong with that, but I realize that we're real people, and we really, truly have a bigger life than just our job. And the job is key. It's one of the biggest chunks of my life will go into my job. But if it's not lived in a way that connects with the other areas of my life, I am going to be one miserable soul. And so that is what has been a catalyst, is to help men and women regain their soul while still pursuing excellence in the marketplace.
Yeah, very good, very good. Steve?
Well, the only thing that comes to mind to me again is that when business leaders get together, something good always seems to happen. And I can just envision if somebody gets just one idea out of this, and I would think with the speakers that you have, there's going to be a richness of content in the speaking.
There certainly will be, and I think some of the ideas that are going to get shared are going to hit into different areas. They're sort of focusing on 7 qualities of what it means to be an effective, godly leader. And so it looks at character and commitment and courage and competency, compassion, being Christ-centered, and then being a catalyst. You know, we all have great ideas, but how many of us get to see those ideas really become a catalyst for organizational change and values being changed? And so I think those 7 pillars will be things that people can pull from no matter what sector of the economy they're operating in.
Well, this is great stuff, gentlemen. Do you want to encourage people to learn more about it? And obviously you don't want to tarry. This event begins tomorrow at what time, Eric?
It begins at 8 a.m., so definitely you want to pick up the tickets, get them on the web at houstonsfirst.org, and then we look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock.
And it lasts all day.
It's all day. If someone is unable to be there all day, I would still, $49 for a half day of just the inspiration as well as some of the practical, ideas that are going to be discussed. I think it's just going to be worth the time. A lot of times I think about chopping wood, and there are days that I feel like I am working really hard, but if I had a little bit more of an edge on that axe, I could sure do a whole lot more with a little less effort. And I think, what are we doing as men and women that are leading in the marketplace to put a sharper edge on our leadership skills?
Got to wrap it up. Steve Van Ooteghem, he is a contributor on The Price of Business with the C12 Group, C12Houston.com. And Eric Reed's a pastor over one of the pastors at Houston First, the men's pastor. And that's HoustonFirst.org. Remember, that's plural. Look for America's Best Hope. I hope to see you there tomorrow, the listener there tomorrow. I look forward to spending some of my day over there learning more myself. Thanks to both of you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you, Steve.
When we come back, much more for you right here on The Price of Business.